Now the Raiders will easily be 7-2, easily without a shadow of a doubt. Easily, the canceling of Jon Gruden is the best thing to happen to the Raiders. When you're not as openly combative to the NFL like Al Davis is, well, guess what? Mark Davis is sly. He is smart. He knows that by winning, he has to get on to the good side of the NFL. Now, this was clearly scripted and planned to happen right after the Raiders started 3-0, right after the Chicago Bears game, with all the ramifications that it has for the Khalil Mack trade, because the league had the Gruden emails back in June. As a matter of fact, Dan Snyder included them in his court filing back in June in regards to investigating Bruce Allen as part of the ongoing sexual harassment scandal that was taking place at Washington football team. The Raiders are the team that is going to win the Super Bowl this year. Gruden is gone because when you say bad things about the commissioner, when you use homophobic slurs against other NFL owners, guess what? These other NFL owners are not going to want Goodell to award the Lombardi Trophy to Jon Gruden. When he starts saying all these vulgar, homophobic uh, adjectives for Roger Goodell is not going to want to hand the trophy over to Jon Gruden. We all know the owners and Jon Gruden. We all know the owners and Roger Goodell got together to bring down Jon Gruden. This whole league-wide culture, this misogynist, homophobic culture of the NFL still exists. Nothing has changed about it because nobody else is being canceled or held accountable for what they've said in emails, including the owners. This was all about ousting Jon Gruden. Mark Davis is playing his cards right. Dad tried to pick a fight with the league. Well, when you try to pick a fight with the league, that is when the talk rule game happens. That happens when the referees screw over the Raiders. You got to play this smart. You got to get on the league's good side. That is exactly what Mark Davis did. That if Jon Gruden were still coaching the Raiders, that if Mark Davis tried to be like Al Davis and play hardball and fight back against the NFL, what would have happened if Jon Gruden was still coaching? The referees would have been instructed by the league to go screw over the Raiders. That will not happen right now because the Raiders are playing on the good side of the league by wanting Jon Gruden out. You want to get on the league's good side. That's what Mark Davis knows. That's what he knows what it takes to win the Raiders a championship, because there ain't going to be no championship if Jon Gruden was still here. The league was going to bring him down. And if the Raiders were not going to force Jon Gruden to resign, they'll have no mercy like what the league will do to the Raiders or screw over the championship. Jon Gruden is out because they know they're about to hand the Lombardi Trophy to the Raiders. That's what we know is happening right now. We all know that if there weren't any future plans to win the Super Bowl, that Jon Gruden would still be here. This is what it's all about. When Roger Goodell found out what Jon Gruden was calling him and saying about him, he knew right away with his other owners who were described in homophobic terms by Jon Gruden that this guy's not going to win anymore in the NFL. Now, what I feel what didn't happen was that Mark Davis is not sly enough to get out of that big $100 million contract. He's still stuck with him. He's stuck with him. He probably knew. He probably knew about the emails. He knew about the emails in June. He knew about it. He knew what the league was going to do. He knew he had no choice. He knew what was coming. He knew Jon Gruden was about to face some music. He knows time winning Super Bowl. He knows that the league's a screw over Jon Gruden. He knows he has to get on the league's good side. That's exactly what happened. This is why Jon Gruden ain't the coach any longer with the Vegas Raiders. Because he pissed off the owners. He pissed off Roger Goodell. The Raiders will benefit without Jon Gruden. The Raiders are easily 7-2. The Raiders are easily 7-2 after beating the Broncos. They are easily, easily gonna beat the Eagles and the Giants. Forget about it. Easily 7-2. The New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on now. They're gonna easily beat those teams. The team that people don't think they're gonna beat is the Kansas City Chiefs. But that's when the Vegas Raiders are gonna beat them. The Packers' winning streak ends against the Chiefs, but they're at home on prime time. Wow, the Raiders are Super Bowl contenders. The Raiders players don't want to hear any more about Jon Gruden and all this. They're all emotional about him, whether the players didn't like him or whether they liked him. They just want to go out there and play fucking football. That's all they want to do. They don't want to hear about no Jon Gruden anymore. They're still sticking by the goals of the season to reach the playoffs, to win the Super Bowl. That's what the Raider players going to do. That's what Derek Carr's going to do. Derek Carr's going to rally the team. That's what Derek Carr will do because he's the next Tom Brady. He will win the Super Bowl this year. They replaced their quarterback in the Patriots dynasty was born when Drew Bledsoe was replaced. In the Raider dynasty is born when Jon Gruden got ousted. That is what is about to happen. Derek Carr, the leader. Derek Carr, the MVP quarterback. Derek Carr, the living legend. Derek Carr, the laser arm, on fire, leading the Raiders with a new coach, representing diversity and inclusion in the traditional fight against racism and bigotry and discrimination, with Art Shell, with Tom Flores, with Amy Trask. That was the script for what the Raiders represent. The bigot Donald Trump to the blonde racist bigot Jon Gruden had to go. That is the script. That's what they do. That's exactly what has happened. This is why Jon Gruden ain't there no more. Is that they got to say that this league represents the fight against racism and all that. But what about all the other guys? What about all the other emails? What about all the other dirty dirt on these owners? The main culprits are not going to be held responsible for this. You got to ignore what the scriptwriters are trying to tell you through the media and all that. Everyone knows that all this crap that they put out at ESPN, they're not going to demand more investigation into the owners and all this. But Mark Davis played it smart. What happened on Monday was he told him, you either are going to get fired or I can let you resign. Maybe they let him walk away with a good portion of his contract. Maybe so Jon is on good terms with Mark, but Mark still is working on behalf of his fellow owners, and the commissioner is that, hey, they don't want you there. This is what's best for the Raiders. Jon Gruden says he doesn't want any distractions, but this is about not having the league screw the Raiders if they try to play hardball and keep Jon Gruden. That's why Jon Gruden is gone. This is the best thing that happened to the Raiders. The league is happy when the Raiders are compliant. Maybe that's what it takes to win a championship, is you get on the good side of the league. It don't matter if the NFL is the mafia leaking the emails. The fact is, you want to be on the good side of Roger Goodell and the owners. And I think Vegas, being the first team to require people to provide proof of vaccination for their home games, is a perfect demonstration of that. Is that the Raiders will be on the good side of the league. The referees will not screw the Raiders or anything like that. This is a new NFL. This is a new Raiders. This is a Raiders that are going to be on the good side. It's going to be a lot harder to achieve your goal when you're trying to create more enemies. This is about being on the good side of the league. Over the summer, a lot of these owners of Roger Goodell were not happy when they read the emails that were there, even before the season. It was all scripted, so this could happen right after the Bears game. That is what happened. This is why this Hulk scandal happened. This Hulk scandal happened so the league could force out Jon Gruden. This isn't about screwing the Raiders. This is about getting rid of Jon Gruden. This is about getting rid of a guy who has said some really mean and offensive things about Roger Goodell and the owners. Mark Davis likes Jon Gruden a lot. but he is left with no choice. Otherwise, the league was going to screw Gruden and the Raiders. This is the best thing that happened to Vegas. Vegas is easily 7-2. They are easily the best there is out west in the AFC West. Easily, without a shadow of a doubt. The Vegas dynasty arises when the Raiders are fighting against racism and bigotry and homophobia and misogyny. And that's what the script is going to be. This is what is happening with this hoax, is that the Raiders defeated Washington in its last Super Bowl victory. Bruce Allen's work email account, his emails received from Jon Gruden's personal email, was the source of the leaks. Marcus Allen was the MVP of Super Bowl 18. The Vegas Raiders will get their payback for the talk rule game against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. It doesn't even have to be Jon Gruden involved in this. The fact is, it's not only an Gruden that got screwed. It is the team, the franchise, the organization that got screwed by the talk rule. This is the Raiders' payback against Tom Brady. The organization's payback against Tom Brady. This ain't about Gruden. It's about the Raiders' payback for the talk rule. The Raiders! The Raiders!